What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into this episode. I want to give a special shout out to one of our day one sponsors, Fabricator 3D printers. They have 3D printers to fulfill any of your production, educational, and hobbyist needs. With their durable frames and precision nozzles, you are guaranteed amazing prints every time. With a full functioning computer built into the printer, you can do all of your designing, slicing, and printing in one place. Dream it, design it, print it. That's Fabricator 3D printers. Check them out at fabricator.com. Thanks, guys.
Get to the chopper! What a world! It's my best predator right there. Alright. We are back with another week of Did You Even See That? Mason, did you even see that?
I can't even breathe right now.
I saw that helicopter, that's what I saw. Didn't see that predator.
Well, all our viewers, or all our listeners, you are now cleared for landing.
Apparently.
To not stand up immediately. I don't know, fucking plane thing.
Oh, we're back.
I don't want you to know.
I was
Gotta
just.
sneak up on you.
How does levels look?
Like, extremely high.
Really?
Test.
One way to find out.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Amazing cue! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
This is Jurassic Park.
Alright, so we're back with another episode, and if you've guessed it from last time, we're doing Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
What? I didn't watch it.
Wait, that's not this week's.
No.
No?
I was promised dinosaurs. I demand the fucking dinosaurs.
So, me going to the movie theaters with my pants down, shooting the promo, that was all for nothing? No? Yes?
Dickosaurs?
I think he's on a list.
Dinosaurs, rats.
I think he's on a list now.
He definitely is the Pee Wee Herman list.
So, yeah, there was this Triceratops fucking... No, I'm just kidding.
God
I
damn.
watched the... I went to Pornhub. No.
Side note, we do not discuss anime flicks with dinosaurs fucking shit.
I didn't know there was a porn parody of Jurassic Park.
There's Jurassic Pork.
Yeah, there is.
I don't even know if that's real. I just remember it from How I Met Your Mother.
It probably is.
It probably is.
It's
real.
gotta be. They make parodies about everything.
Yeah.
See, I like how my first thought I was like, is it the actors or is it the dinosaurs?
I don't know.
Dinosaurs.
Or is it like a
And
mix?
That's exactly what I thought with the
Which is
raptors.
just really weird, but... Oh my god.
Because they explained that all the dinosaurs are that are female.
Yeah, this is getting weird now.
It was Dr. Wu.
God damn it, Dr. Wu.
Dr. Wu was fucking the dinosaurs. Alright, yeah, so... We are back with another episode. It is Jurassic Park. Not Jurassic Park Lost World. It's the first one.
Jurassic Park 3,
original.
or Jurassic
It came out
Park,
a year
or
before
Jurassic
my birth.
World.
I don't know the exact date, but I know it was 1993 it came out. But
I think so.
yeah, before I was born. So
Same.
before I was born, awesome films.
I was
That's
2
what I
years
think
old.
about. Yeah, all films before I was born were awesome.
Not all
Oh,
of them.
come on. You're saying you don't like those nice Godzilla movies where the
We leave
mouths
kaiju
are
movies
like,
out of this conversation.
Wait,
where the mouths are like 5 seconds behind the actual English words.
That's just because it's bad dubbing. And yeah, the movie came out in 1993.
Yep, I know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this generation does not miss the movies where you would see the strings holding things up. Or anything moving.
Yeah.
The object.
Well, like,
itself.
what was interesting about this film is, like, they have a mix of the CGI and like the animatronic dinosaurs, because right when it's like there's the scene with the T-Rex like right next to the window and like popping out. Those are like all animatronics or whatever, or people in suits for the raptors. Whatever.
Yeah, they didn't have the money
But,
back
like,
then for CGI for something like that.
They did, 'cause, like they didn't
Not
have
for
it for all of it.
That's
but
what I'm saying.
yeah, because like when he starts tearing apart like the Jeep or whatever,
And the chase down.
yeah, it's clearly like CGI'd, not that great, but like
Yeah.
and then the brontosauruses earlier on are like CGI'd.
I'm really confused because after watching them and then watching the credits, just seeing dinosaur supervisor as one of the credits.
Dinosaurs.
People died, damn it!
Someone had to supervise making sure the animatronics and everything were correct.
Yeah.
I get it, but just the dumbass in me is just like, someone died making this film.
See,
Damn
that's
it.
what's wrong with the population these days. You guys want to overanalyze every little fucking thing. Growing up, when I saw Jurassic Park for the first time, I thought it was the most amazing thing ever, and they only could have did one thing to fix it. At the end of the credits, say, based on a true events. That would have fucked me over my entire life growing up. That would have been worse than Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, everything. Finding out that Jurassic Park wasn't real.
I mean,
That shit was awesome.
but I don't know.
But I was on the side with the dinosaurs. I was like, kill those sons of bitches.
In the first one?
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely
like,
Jeff
later
Goldblum.
ones.
He definitely shouldn't have survived. Look what he did in the end.
Yeah,
Fallen Kingdom now? He wants to save the damn dinosaurs. What do? Tear apart a nice mansion.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Jeff Goldblum. Like,
Yeah, but like, what was really kind of weird that I just realized about this version versus the other ones was like, in the first movie, Jeff Goldblum is like playing Jeff Goldblum in like any film where he's like goofy and eccentric.
well, he wasn't really
But the
goofy.
second one, no, like that
No, he was
helicopter
weird.
ride.
The helicopter ride in. Him with the water. Putting on...
Oh yeah, hitting on.
Like him in the helicopter was like straight up Thor Ragnarok Jeff Goldblum. Like where he's
Yeah.
like eccentric and like
Yeah.
Just
Looney Tunes.
out there.
But then the second
Like his
movie, he's
commercials.
like
Dad.
the action hero dad.
Yeah.
Which is like a complete like because I
180.
remember the second one more than the first one.
oh, yeah.
And the second one I always remembered him in my mind as being like this cool like father figure guy.
See, the only
But then now watching that one I'm like,
The only thing I remember from the second one
a little
was
creepy.
Jeff Goldblum's daughter in that movie just doing flips and shit and kicking a raptor. That's all I remember from the second one.
I don't remember the second one. at
I just
all.
remember those cool like RVs that were like connected or whatever that were like armored
Oh, yeah.
RVs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
The-
I had
the armored
a
convoy.
like they had like a
I had one of those,
cardboard
yeah.
like a cardboard cutout of like the dinosaurs that you could fit together and those like little Jeep
Mm-hmm.
things that you could put together. I had one of those. I think I still have it. I should have brought it in for this.
No,
made
then
like
I
a
would
little
have talked
video
all the entire
intro.
time. I would have just played with it the whole time.
Maybe we'll do that for we'll do that for Jurassic Park too.
Recreate the opening scene.
Oh my god. But yeah, I don't know. It was very interesting rewatching it, but I didn't know that somebody died on making the film though. But
No one died. It's
Oh.
just a running joke where it's like dinosaur supervisor. God damn it! People died during this movie. How dare you, whoever you are, not supervising the dinosaurs correctly?
because I was gonna say that's actually like something that like you don't. It's like a rarity now, but back then like stunt coordinators or stuntmen.
Well, stunts were a lot harder back then.
Yeah.
Because to
And,
get
like,
those shots,
now,
you actually
like,
had to do.
That's
So
why a
stunts were
lot of them.
stunts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
stunts were
like that's
stunts,
why
now
like a
it's
lot
just
of
CGI.
them like transferred over to like they're using a lot more CGI for
Think about
like all these films now.
movie, Steven Spielberg doing this one, but then you got like, say James Cameron and Avatar. That entire thing was just green screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Besides some of the military parts and stuff like that, but we went from where you actually had to be out in like a jungle
And build the shit.
shooting a movie to being in
Shooting
a
at
studio
raptors. Yeah, to
just
legit
covered
shoot
in
it.
green shit,
Yeah.
having to act like you actually see it.
Yeah.
Back then, they actually had the dinosaur head. You had people's reaction to actually seeing these things, like the scene with the brontosaurus like sneezing on the kid.
Yeah.
Like that. This
That's
kid
a very genuine
really was
response.
just chilling there, and all of a sudden, just green slime hit him in the face, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't CGI. He
I know.
literally got covered in mucus.
To be fair,
Not like real mucus.
but yeah,
Yeah.
the equivalent that they made.
Everybody like blew their nose into
Their news.
their news
Everyone
into
blew their news into
a vat, and then like
Oh,
they saved it up.
God,
and
this
it
is
just
gross.
blew it on
All right. For authenticity purposes, we need everyone
Here-
mucus for
He's
the
a
week.
method actor.
He's not Daniel Day-Lewis. But I get that. But like, I have that thinking about that too. Like when they had like the Tyrannosaurus Rex and like doing those scenes. Yeah, we know it's fake, but goddamn, during those scenes of it actually running at you.
While watching the movie, you know it's fake, but it still scares the shit out of you, especially with Jeff Goldblum gimpy as hell in the back seat, telling them to drive faster in
Yeah.
a Jeep that can't drive any faster, and luckily is off the tracks to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't. That was the thing, is they didn't use for on the track stuff. They didn't use the actual Jeeps. They used.
Oh,
like,
that's right. It was those.
I want to say like they were some sort of Ford Explorer or something like that, because I thought I saw a Ford symbol.
Thanks,
but-
Ford.
Yeah. Way to not work, Ford.
Wait,
But
we
the
knew back
Jeeps
then
work.
that Fords would fall apart. You know, they would stop working. Right.
Those Jeeps worked.
I drive a JDM, so
That's what
But yeah, it was just like the one thing that I really liked about it was that like I've said before, like having like the actual animatronics and like actual suits and stuff, it makes it seem more realistic.
Well, yeah, because the actors actually.
And I think for a lot of the new ones, they still
Acted
use
with
a
that
lot
stuff.
of animatronics, but like
Now
they
as
still
much as they
use
can,
CGI.
yeah.
Like,
now it's mainly like
They'll
what-
sculpt the head and things like that, but then the body is CGI.
yeah, just you're wearing a green
Or
shoe.
anything that you
Yeah,
know,
it's like
the
a guy
actors-
holding a raptor
anything the
head and,
actor's
like-
gonna like touch or you know
as
do
we're bobbing
something,
our
like,
heads
in the
back and
movie.
forth
Yeah.
at each other.
same Night of the Roxbury.
Yeah, this
I
is-
don't know why, but
we
my-
aren't making a song
yeah.
here.
We're not making
I'm
a song. This
like-
isn't
yeah.
videotaped.
What is love?
No,
Baby,
it's
don't
not.
hurt.
Oh
It's
my
dinosaurs
gosh.
killing, ripping you apart.
But yeah, like you're saying about how it's real. I mean, it seems real. I mean, your wife's still deathly afraid of
Oh my
dinosaurs. Yeah,
My wife
I texted him when we were
hates raptors.
when
The sound they make and everything, she just hates. And I love it because I make raptor sounds that are horrible all the time at her.
See, when I sent the text
That's
that
her
we were
worst
gonna do
nightmare.
this
is
movie,
that dinosaurs are gonna come back to life, and someone's gonna make them, and then raptors are gonna appear. That's
okay.
why she hated the newest Jurassic Park, because the entire movie, spoiler, is based off of a fucking raptor that
gets loose.
fights
And,
on a heat signature given off by a laser beam.
yeah. But
And that was just the beta testing
Yeah.
of what they were doing for that.
yeah. When I sent the text about that we were doing this movie, I was like, "Oh, by the way, Mason, try not to scare your wife with it." And
Yeah, she
Yeah.
hates
I was
raptors.
literally picturing because you get home so late that you would like start it late at night.
I
She'd be
should've.
asleep and just hear a raptor noise and be like, "Oh my god, my nightmares have come true."
This is the day it ends. The thing is, though, like, looking at the movie and stuff like that, like, the raptors aren't actually supposed to be that big.
No, like real. Well, like so
Real
they
life
kind of
raptors were about 4 times the size of a chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how big raptors
Well, like they
were.
even say that in the
technically.
beginning of this one.
Yeah.
But like because they were doing a lot of
Genetic.
Gene
Yeah.
tampering.
and like they even said that they like spliced it with frog DNA.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's why they like didn't have feathers and stuff. I think it would have been cool if they would have like brought like the real life thing in,
Like the
even though it's
historically
not
accurate
like
one?
that scary, but like because they still had the same like size talons. They were just like a little bit smaller and had feathers. So like I think they just kind of stepped up the look.
I don't think it was a little bit. I think they were significantly smaller. Because the raptors in the movie are, like, taller than humans. They're, like, 6 foot, 7 foot tall.
The raptors should have been
Depends.
the size of what they were in Jurassic World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Like,
that's
the
what I
size of
meant.
Blue.
Like they
Yeah.
kind of
That's
changed
about
like
how the
sizes
size that they
there.
were supposed to be. Yeah, in the very first one, they were like maybe a quarter of the sizes of the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were a lot bigger than they should have been. But, you know, with that being the first Jurassic Park movie in the however many there have been now, and the spin-offs with shows and things like that, it set the standards for what everyone viewed dinosaurs to be.
At the time, yeah.
At the time.
And kind of wanted.
Do you have to say, though, spot on the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Spot on.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about the films, though, is that, like, almost every, like, the new ones, and then those ones, like, the T-Rex is, like, the guy that saves the day and, like, kills, like...
Yeah, except for
thing
the
at
Fallen
end.
Kingdom.
No.
It's the only one the T-Rex doesn't save him.
Yeah, T-Rex is a new...
No. He saves them. At the end, there's that big one with the horns that comes after
the breed of a T-Rex and a Velociraptor mixed together?
No, it was like it's a different because it's in the third Jurassic Park movie.
The Fallen
Oh, the
Kingdom
Allosaurus.
once.
The Allosaurus. It was coming
that
after him,
one.
and the
Oh,
T-Rex
you mean when
kills
they're
the
still on
Allosaurus.
the island?
No.
Are we talking about the new Jurassic Park? Or the
Yes, the most recent.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Yes.
The one where they are
Right when they let all
dinosaurs.
the animals out, or all the dinosaurs out of the thing,
Yeah.
and they start walking
From the
out of the
gaps.
mansion.
Oh, yeah, because they're on
There's
the
an
planet.
Allosaurus that comes back into view, and was gonna kill them or whatever, and then the T-Rex kills the Allosaurus.
I
And then,
honestly
like-
don't remember that part.
I'm
I'm
Really?
pretty sure.
You might be right. I don't remember. But even then, in Jurassic Fallen Kingdom, what happens on the island is the Allosaurus comes after them, and the T-Rex comes over and
Yeah.
bites his fucking head off, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There might not have been a T-Rex at the end. I thought there was though, but because
The T-Rex is in it in the fight.
he kind of
in the
field saves the day though
when they're
too.
getting in the orb. The Allosaurus steps back, closes it, and the orb rolls away
Yeah.
without him in it.
Yeah.
And then that's when the T-Rex shows up at that point, and
Yeah.
then he runs away.
You're right.
And then you find him on the
the
ship.
T-Rex. This is what I was thinking of. The T-Rex, because I know the T-Rex came into view at night at that thing. He kills the bad guy that was trying to get away with the specimens of the new.
Oh, yeah,
next
of the...
Oh,
He
yeah,
steps on.
yeah.
He
You're
steps
right.
on.
Yeah, okay.
So you're right. You're
one
right.
of the-
It was earlier in the movie, but I remember the T-Rex came back at the
Yeah,
end.
he prevented...
But what I mean is, like, the last, like, kind of dinosaur that saves
Yeah.
the day is, like, always the T-Rex. He either kills the Velociraptor.
Well, it's because it's the classic dinosaur that everyone
It
thinks
is.
of.
It is what everybody wants to see.
It's
but
funny because
they've kind of made
in
him...
Jurassic Park, the entire time, it's like, oh shit, the T-Rex, you don't want
Exactly.
to fuck with it. It
Yeah.
gets out. And then they start going, and then all of a sudden it's now, oh shit, what about the raptors?
Yeah.
Like, no one thought about them, and then they get over to their enclosure, and it's like they can fucking fly now.
Well,
They get out.
They have like a really good jump, like vertical jump.
Yeah.
And the raptors, we'll get to it when we're at that part. But the raptors have like they're on like a separate grid.
Mm-hmm.
And which one? I think the raptor enclosure was like right next to like all the important like visitor area
Yeah, it
and
was.
stuff.
It usually
So when
is.
all the fences went down and all that T-Rex stuff was happening, their enclosure was still up and running.
It was just funny
But it was just
because-
it's ironic that like all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, the raptors,
Yeah.
and then that's when the raptors start.
Once
coming
they
into
realize,
play.
oh, okay, the T-Rex is gone. It's not like we can't see that motherfucker coming. He's huge as
Yeah.
shit. Then all of a sudden they're like, oh wait, we have raptors here that are small, lethal. Like, you
See-
can't see them coming. Like the guy with the shotgun's running around like, hey, you gotta be careful with these raptors. They don't fuck with you. Like, they'll fuck you up. They travel in packs.
They're pack hunters.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then he goes like, I'm gonna go find them.
That's
Yeah.
because he's the whole entire... The only reason why he's on the island is because he wants to hunt dinosaurs, because he's hunted everything else on the planet.
There's
Well,
always
see,
one around.
well, the one thing is that guy, Crocodile Dundee, he
That's not a knife.
That's just a knife.
he doesn't really bring up the fact that they like attack from the sides or whatever. It's Alan Grant, the like archaeologist guy.
Oh, he was the one that brought that
yeah,
up?
he's the one. Which I feel like at some point, being that this guy's supposed to be guarding the raptors, you should probably mention your knowledge of raptors to him. But
Nah.
yeah, no.
But anyway,
Or
like, once they realize
or the
that...
female that like when they're like, oh shit, the raptors, and then she should have been like, watch out, like they're pack hunters, they'll attack from the side.
I think they just wanted that guy to die.
I think so too.
Probably. I do like the idea where everyone's explaining, like, well, all the dinosaurs on there are female, so they can't reproduce. And I like the whole entire thing where Jeff Goldblum's like, no, life finds a way. And it's like, yeah, frog DNA. There's no males.
Yeah, no,
they'll turn into a
yeah,
male.
nobody thought. I still think my theory on that is like because the new one, Doctor Wu's Doctor Wu was in the original one, and then they brought him back for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and he was the one that was like fucking with everything and trying to make it cooler and shit. I think he knew. And he was just like, all right, let's see.
I mean,
like,
you had to have known because if you study like species,
if he's as
like
smart
that,
as he can, where he can like fucking
you
create
have
dinosaurs,
to know, especially in
like,
the later
that
ones
it
when
could
they
happen.
say that they breed them with like 10 different kind of animals to get every single gene, like the predatory genes off of them, like camouflaging, things like that. You have to know that, all right, wait, how can you tell a female or male frog? Oh, it can just switch?
Yeah, it can
Put that in a
sometimes
dinosaur.
switch.
But let's forget about doing that.
Well, I think they explained in the first one the reason why they used frog DNA is because at the time it was one of the closest DNAs that they could match up with dinosaurs.
Well, they also used the mosquito blood too.
Yeah. See, my thought is like, I thought gators and shark were closer to dinosaurs.
Alligators are like the ancestors of there's alligators
like
in the
Cretaceous.
Yeah, in the Cretaceous period. They were just different. So bigger.
Bigger.
Evolution. If it exists.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We're not getting on this topic.
Yeah. Well.
Back to dinosaurs.
Whether you believe of a Big Bang or
back to Jurassic Park. Where, we'll start talking about the opening
from beginning to end. This movie
in.
had the best oh shit movies from when he pokes the little fat kid with the claw to when the raptor jumps on the T-Rex's back.
Yeah.
So many oh shit moments.
So many.
So good.
I do like that they start
especially oh shit. I feel like that should be a lawsuit, like terrorizing a little kid, and like everybody there is just like,
being
ooh.
a dick. Yeah, everyone's like, oh shit,
ooh.
Well, I do like that they opened up the movie with being in Arizona, like excavating stuff.
Utah,
Montana. I know it's Montana because they say Montana.
All right.
Okay. Right. Regardless.
All right. Whatever.
Somebody reads the little subtitle that comes
Sometimes
up.
I don't.
I could care less.
But yeah, them digging up.
Like it's showing like how they
the claw and everything like that, and then him taking that with him the entire time.
Does he use that claw for anything during the movie?
To stab the little porky pig in the chest.
No, he doesn't.
He shows it. He
what
plays
was
with
it going to use it on? Like, is it just going to be
the
like
raptor?
Going to be like
fight the
Liam
raptor with
Neeson
the claw.
and what was that movie?
The Gray or whatever.
Yeah, the Gray. He's going to tape a raptor.
Come here, raptor. But,
he's going to Wolverine it and just be like, bub.
I would watch that movie.
Hey, bub.
I would totally watch that movie.
Anyways, the opening of this film, now that we're like 20 minutes in, the opening of this film, great opening, menacing music to begin with, which already just sets the precedent that something's going to go wrong.
Dude, the soundtrack for this movie is amazing.
It is.
Yeah,
it is probably one of the
movie
better
score
soundtracks
really
of like a movie from that time. Yeah, so it opens up, there's like big thuds, trees breaking. There's like a bunch of people like just looking at the trees or whatever. It's them like transporting a a cage. Yeah, it's a raptor cage basically. You find out it's
Crocodile Dundee's there.
Yeah, Crocodile Dundee. Basically, he's like the game preservist of Jurassic Park, which is a whole island off of Costa Rica.
One of three.
But we find out later on, one of 3 islands that apparently they never learn, and they just continue to freaking put dinosaurs on the other islands.
To be fair, if you had the ability to create dinosaurs,
I would not, because I watched Jurassic Park 1 through 8. No, I'm just kidding.
I've learned my lessons.
I would still make dinosaurs.
Yeah, there's something that I was watching that they're like, in like a couple years or something, like they might try and like have the ability to create dinosaurs, and then like literally the first comment on it is just, have they not watched? There's like 8 movies.
There's a franchise about how this is a bad idea.
Yeah,
maybe they expect that they'll learn from that and not go down the same path.
It'd be fine if we just don't recreate the predators and just remake the herbivores.
Life finds a way, man.
Yeah, you find a way.
That's fine, but it's a lot easier to take care of a herbivore than it is a fucking.
And herbivores aren't as much fun.
Yeah. Dude, I came to see that freaking.
I would love to see a Stegosaurus or whatever the dinosaur is with the ball at the end of its tail. Just slap shit.
That would be cool. But, anyways, like I said, they're bringing in a cage. We find out it's the raptors inside. Crocodile Dundee's there. The only security guard on the island, basically. There's a couple other guys with guns, but they're not in the rest of the movie. Yeah. Like, they leave after that or whatever. So, he literally tells a guy, he calls him the gatekeeper, to open up the cage and put, like, basically they're going to put the raptors into their enclosure.
Well, what they're trying to do is, they have, I think it's just one raptor in it.
Well, yeah, it's the female.
And they slide it up to the gate.
He refers to her as the girl or
the alpha.
Like, it's basically, the beta.
But anyway,
the beta.
So he's sliding it up, telling them, all right, be careful. They're tricky, basically. Slide it up right next to the gate. They open the gate, and then as they open, for some reason, they don't have a locking system to make sure the fucking crate doesn't move. So they open the gate, and what happens, the guy up top has been egging on the raptor. He pulls the gate up. Raptor goes from the front of the cage to the back and fucking shoulder rushes it. And I don't know, like, what they feed these things, but it moved it, like, 3 feet off the wall.
Yeah.
He falls in to the only crack around that the dinosaur could get him, and gets eaten to fucking shit. Well, get his legs taken out.
He's
pulling on the cage, and what Crocodile Dundee does is shoot her.
He cradles him. He's like, shoot her, shoot her,
holding on to half her body, just kill her.
To be fair,
and everyone's just standing there like, nah.
Well, look, I think that you hear like some gunshots, but it's like
no, there's no gunshots. There's just tasers going in.
Yeah, they're tasers.
Like cattle prods.
It's just
they don't have lethals or anything like that.
Yeah, because the fucking
they have
this guy's
lethals,
bright idea
they
is
just
to
don't
let
use
it.
them.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
I just do like
because Crocodile Dundee's first appearance in the film is just him holding this big shotgun, just like, and then like he like let goes of the shotgun and just cradles this guy. It's like you could have shot her.
I do like how this movie, like that whole entire scene, made the meme of shoot her.
Yeah, like he had to scream it like 4 times, and he could have just shot her. The guy would have just had, like, no legs, but, like...
I like how it was after that incident, they decided to bring experts in to see how safe their park was.
Yeah, but, like, the experts are only expert... Like, the one guy is literally just, like a physicist or, like...
Well, that Jeff Goldblum's character is, like, the physicist.
And then, like, because he talks about, like, different,
He talks about chaos theory all the time.
Yeah, he just talks about chaos theory, like, all the time. And then, like, Dr. Grant, like, they, like, studied kind of raptors, but, like, nobody's seen an actual, like...
No,
they're supposed to be the best in their field at, like, they're archaeologists for dinosaurs.
Yeah, except his wife is a botanist. She does plants and stuff like that. So that's why they brought her along to take a look at the fauna that they recreated.
Yeah, but it's like still they're bringing in experts that are just experts on like obviously nobody's going to be an expert on a live dinosaur, but
so they brought the next best thing.
Yeah,
people who have been studying it.
Yeah,
it's just it was a great opening, which just spelled like trouble from the beginning that like they didn't even like open the thing and people have died already.
Was that the first death that they?
I don't know if
technically, yeah. It was.
Yeah, I mean, like you don't know if anything happened before that, but that's like.
Yeah, I was like,
that's the first on-screen death.
This is the death that makes you want, like, oh, we should bring in people.
But also, like, they have like this island, these huge bars. The fences have like 10,000 volts running through them, whatnot. They're opening the gate for like one of the most deadly things that they have at the park, because the only deadly things they have at the park are the velociraptors, the T-Rex, and the Dilophosaurus.
Dilophosaurus is the spit thing, right?
Yeah,
which
didn't come up later on in the movie. They only killed Newman.
Yeah,
boom,
that
boom,
I like.
Boom, 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 boom.
God damn it.
Boom, boom, boom.
I like how they also wrote Dilophosaurus. Like that thing doesn't naturally have poison spray thing. Like
they could have altered it. They could have made it more. Well, I mean, they could have. They did, but
in college, I took dinosaurs.
So did I.
Yeah.
So did
that
I.
professor shit
On the movie.
On
Jurassic
Jurassic
Park.
Park, yeah.
He said it's like the worst thing in the fucking world. Nothing was right. From the size of the dinosaurs to the one that spits the venom on Newman,
Yeah.
which doesn't actually spit venom.
Yeah. It's just, it was
I like how
It was
all of
just
us-
ironic that they had to pull the gate up for physically have one person pull the gate up. Like they couldn't.
Yo,
Just
you
have
got
like
money to make a dinosaur. You don't got money for a gate.
Well, the thing is, they
being
have,
lifted.
they had like a crane that drops,
Food in.
yeah, a cow in, which they could have just picked up the box, set it in there, kind of tilted it a little bit,
Like, and shake it a bit to get the thing out.
make sure it's out, and then pull it up and out. Like that's all they had to do.
Yo,
and instead they're
hindsight-
like, let's just do this manual labor next to this most
You know
deadly
why?
thing.
Because OSHA.
Yeah,
Because they still have to follow OSHA.
Sure.
No, because of PETA.
pockets.
Pockets.
No, because you gotta care for the well-being of animals. You know, you didn't want to slide the dinosaur out of the box. You gotta like let it walk in on its own, and kill someone on the way.
God damn, it's 1993 and Peter's already being a pain in the ass.
So, anyways, after the whole shooter,
Shooter McGavin.
the shooter McGavin, shooter, there's a businessman like traveling through the jungle. Basically, I guess he found another dig site of a person that they've consulted with before about dinosaurs. I think this character is like the guy that grabs the amber
With the mosquito in it.
yeah, well, like he definitely grabs that, but I think he's the one that supplies the fossils for
Oh.
the park and supplies the blood that would be inside that mosquito,
Yeah,
which
'cause
we
you take
find out is how they made the dinosaurs.
That's how they get that sweet, sweet dino DNA.
But basically, they're talking about how they want to bring in 2 experts to see if the island's safe, kind of just like investigate it, make sure that it
And then
follows
an
its safety
insurance
things.
person.
And then, yeah, because basically what this guy did, he's just a rich dude that bought or rented an island because like he kind of like he
Yeah.
says he bought it, and then like a second later he's like, oh, I have it on loan or like lease or something like that.
To
Like,
be fair, if you have enough money to
But-
buy an island, I will just agree with what you say because clearly you have enough money to do whatever you want.
yeah, and so basically the businessman is the lawyer trying to figure out, which I think the lawyer coming
That's the
to
shittiest way to die.
Oh,
well, the
no,
lawyer
I
investigating
see
the
what you did
safety
there.
of the island gets killed by the dinosaurs, which is the funniest thing to me because, like, his job is like, is it safe? Is it safe? Oh, this is pretty cool. We can make some money off this. Ah!
Does in a very
Anyways,
shitty way.
yeah, they want to grab Alan Grant because he is the expert archaeologist for dinosaurs. He knows the most about raptors. Him and his wife are like
Power couple.
they basically like say like they're the top in the world. And so the owner of the island, who is Hammond, right?
Yeah.
And old Santa Claus, they want to go find Alan Grant, who's out in Montana.
Look who reads subtitles.
Yeah. Basically, it took me, the movie's 2 hours long. It took me like 4 hours to watch it and write notes on it or remember everything from it. So, yeah, so they're at a dig site in Montana. They find a raptor fossil there, and they have like a new way to tell what's underneath the ground, which is they use a shotgun shell and like a mapping device of some sort and shoot it into the earth.
It's kind of like echolocation.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's kind of sweet.
It was.
It is. I just always love that thing. They should have brought
Yeah.
their little like trench fire thing with them to the island. Hold still, dinosaur. See, that's what Jeff Goldblum needed on the back of that thing.
He needed something on the back.
He needed. He could have held it like this. Had his feet out on the little like.
Pod, like the lights.
Yeah, the pod.
Tripod.
Tire, whatever they used, and just like fired shotgun shells like a gunner. But
Here, actually, speaking of this now, with being on an island near Costa Rica, you know, tropical-ish weather and stuff like that, where it rains and things like that, we learn it rains there. Why the fuck don't they have tops on those Jeeps?
Yeah.
those Jeeps were like maintenance vehicles, but they should have had tops. They might have. It was a couple nice days. They wanted to take the top off,
Also,
My God, I can't even take my top off my Jeep for a weekend because it always fucking rains here in Pennsylvania.
Well, like, the funny thing is, like, I don't think they had tops because
They
the
probably
storm.
didn't.
The storm comes.
It wasn't in their budget for the movie.
but what I
Yeah.
want to know is, like, if you have an island and, like, why would you pick a place like Costa Rica?
Well,
It's tropical.
It's
People like to get
tropical.
away.
it's close enough where people can travel in, but far enough where
The
something
government's
gets
like-
off the island.
I think
It has a while to travel because it was like 120 miles from Costa Rica.
I think the real failure of this movie was the electronic driver in all those vehicles.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
Well, did you see it? It's like little binoculars
Yeah.
on top of the steer. It looked like
Wally.
yeah, Wally from like the like
Wall-E.
original.
From Wall-E.
Well,
Wally from
I
Wally.
knew from Wally, but I mean the original one, not the
Yeah.
remake. Like
Is
the
there
like
original Wally?
yeah, there's like a live action Wally from like the 80s,
That
Yeah.
which it's like
I feel like that's aged.
it's like those like basically they just changed like the head on like an 80s like those like
Oh, it's because they
robots that like you'd see in the movie that would like travel around that were like buddy and
yeah.
that was Wally. He like basically traveled around like a Chicago junkyard.
Oh wait, no, that was Mac.
Was it Mac?
Yeah, you talking about when he's in like New York City or something like that? He's in the city with a little kid. Robot's name
I don't
is
know.
Mac.
All I've
Either
seen
way,
is
yeah.
a couple.
Back to
scenes.
that.
That's the
Dinosaurs.
real failure here,
Yeah.
because if they would have just had a fucking person being the driver and not had all those vehicles on a track,
It was cool, but
They
it's
coulda
like
got
it
away.
kind of brings like a futuristic feel, which is like kind of
It
like
kind
Yeah.
of makes sense also why the track, because the idea is like this is just a tour. Like you're not going to touch these things. You're just being pulled along.
well,
the way.
yeah, but we have
they have a
tours
nice
nowadays
bathroom.
that aren't like that. Yeah,
Right
a
next
nice
to the T-Rex.
bathroom with wood walls.
Was that meant for guests or was that
and
meant
blue walls? Yeah,
was that meant for guests or was that meant for maintenance?
there's like 4 toilets.
I'm
in
gonna
there,
say that
so,
as a
like,
guest because
Yeah, they had like
he ran
couple
in there
stalls.
to try to get away. And here's a good question: if that park isn't even open to the public, who the fuck unlocked all the bathrooms?
I don't know.
It's gonna be like Music
Maybe they
Fest.
unlocked it
Damn
because
movie.
there was like that tour going on. The
Maybe.
tour of the. They wanted to make sure that the
Yeah, 'cause-
lawyer was satisfied with the.
Oh, yeah, didn't-
restaurants.
I honestly don't. I mean, I understand
Which
why. he
I
didn't
don't
keep,
think. I think that's his biggest complaint is that the bathroom didn't hold up. I mean,
clearly
Well, didn't they say they were
does
basically?
not meet expectations.
check.
Didn't they say though that basically what they're doing is they're putting them on a actual like live tour?
Yeah.
Yeah,
actual
that's
thing
what
was.
it was.
Okay.
But I mean, they don't
Also,
expect the park
If
to
they
shut
put-
down and dinosaurs will run them up.
the thing is, like, they put the girl to attract the T-Rex. Why would you have them sit there for like 6 hours?
They don't. They go. They like travel away. That's when they find the sick. We'll get there, but they find a sick.
But then
Triceratops,
Yeah, but then they go.
the rifle.
They go
Back.
back. Yeah.
The
I guess
same
there's a
way.
loop. I guess there's
It's on a loop.
Yeah.
But why would they go backwards? Because in the loop, like they didn't go back to.
Well,
the
in the
thing.
No,
beginning,
loop as in like a turnaround.
in the beginning,
There's like a turnaround.
before they went and did like the T-Rex and all that part. Well, getting there, it was on a track. T-Rex and everything was on a track, but the herbivores in those areas are free roam, where they took them out on the vehicles and showed them, and that's when they're like driving through, and like, everyone's like, "Where are all the dinosaurs? I came for the dinosaurs."
Yeah.
And then they stop and park, and they're
Yeah.
just looking around, and then Jeff Goldblum does Jeff Goldblum, and then
But
they see the brontosaurus
Yeah.
going to the water.
so, like we were saying, they wanted to find these two, Alan Grant and his it's Dr. Sater or Sattler, to check out the park, see what's going on, give their personal opinion and advice. Personally, I just think he wanted to wow them and be like, I got dinosaurs and you have been looking for dinosaurs.
Dig up dead
But,
ones.
yeah.
I have live ones.
But anyways, he flies in, Hammond flies in on a helicopter, almost ruins their sight.
Yeah.
They're like furious with him at first until he basically offers to fund them for like 3 years, which is like, what kind of like, this guy could have just basically paid them to say, yeah, the island's all good.
Yeah.
Like, if he had enough money to fund them for 3 years, he could have just been like, I'll
If
give you
only he
enough
hired
just to say
technicians
yes.
that were reliable and trustworthy.
Yeah. Also, like, worst grandfather in the world. Test
Oh, yeah.
run, and he brings his grandchildren.
I mean, if my
He said
grandfather
it.
did that, I
He want-
definitely would go.
Yeah, I would too.
I would too, but, like, still, like, he should have been like,
hey, maybe I shouldn't bring children
yeah,
here.
maybe I shouldn't for the first
those
test
poor
run.
kids.
First test run ever.
They were screwed the rest
But-
of their life.
Yeah, I wish the movies would bring them back. That would be kind of cool.
I like how the girl was just like, this is DOS at the very end when she's doing the hacking. I'm like, oh god, it's 1993. DOS is still a really real thing.
Yeah. So basically, he tells them he's going to fund them for 3 years. They agree to it. He tells them that he'd fund them so that they would come to the island, check it out, whatnot. But he doesn't tell them that he's got dinosaurs. He's basically like, oh, I got this island. Like, why don't you guys come check it out? Like, you guys are experts in dinos. I think you'll be very interested.
Well, yeah, he sets
But-
it up as like this is like the starting day of it. Like I have all this land and all the
Yeah.
things like that. Come look at what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, "Do you want to meet them?"
Surprise!
By the way, I already have them.
Like, do you want to see them?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "What? Dinosaur."
Yeah. Anyway, so then it cuts.
The end.
The end.
We have
We're done.
dinosaurs.
We're done. No. Then it cuts to this suspicious guy that's like,
Oh, yeah.
moving
Moving
around
through, yeah.
the city or whatever, which he's like trying to act incognito, but
Wearing
he's the
brightest floral shirt ever.
brightest floral shirt,
fair, they're in Costa
sunglasses.
Rica.
The only other American there besides Newman, but his shoulders are like hunched up like this. Like he just like spells like,
I'm shady.
yeah.
He's up to
I'm
no
like
good, yeah.
literally he should have just went like shady person t-shirt. But
And they
he's meeting
At
Newman.
an outdoor cafe.
And by Newman, I'm referring to Wayne Knight, who plays Dennis
It's
Nedry.
It's Newman.
But
Jeez, you're
he's
calling
known
me.
as Newman from Seinfeld. So
Yeah, I was gonna say,
boom,
I do
boom.
like that scene though. To be fair, because like, yo, this person has dinosaurs, and then Engine, the evil company that wants to take them for like, you know what Engine does.
Yeah, but basically they're paying Newman $1.3 million to steal all the different one embryo of
Embryos
each.
of every dinosaur.
He's gonna steal it inside a Barbasol can that pops out on the bottom, which was actually freaking cool. Like I like
Yeah.
that. But Newman like gets like freaking giddy. Like he's like the like
and it's
he's like literally
puts it on everything.
he's like oh my god.
Yeah,
this
he
is
thought
cool.
it was, like, the
he
coolest
literally
thing in the world.
acted like the Pillsbury Doughboy getting poked in the stomach.
Yeah.
Like
So he says he'll do it. Goes back to Jurassic Park.
yeah. Then it's the helicopter flight in. Jeff Goldblum. He's playing Ian Malcolm. Basically, his character's in this one. He's playing Jeff Goldblum. And he's like talking to them about chaos theory, weirdly hitting on Alan Grant's like girlfriend.
I thought they were married.
I
don't remember.
I don't think they are yet. I
No.
think they're just like trying to, or like they're dating, or
Definitely getting
Something.
married after the
They're
events of
talking to
Jurassic
each
Park.
yeah. But because I think she's in the second and third one or whatever. He's like flirtatious with her, whatnot. They're flying into the island, which is humongous, and they're about to land. They say there's like gonna be a rough landing, and then Alan Grant can't get his safety belt on, which I thought that scene was really funny because they're giving him safety instructions like as the plane's coming down, and like it's like a 5-minute scene where he's just like, no, you gotta, like Santa Claus is like, no, you gotta. You gotta buckle it in there. You gotta, snap it together. And he's just like, oh, fuck this. He just like ties it together. And then like literally they land a second after he ties it. It's like, you could have just not tied it. Like,
Yeah.
what was this Alien where they're gonna land and the ship was just gonna explode?
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, so they get to the island, which is called Isla Nublar. So the first island, which they all have very like unique names, which I love. But I also love that they shot in Hawaii and you can actually just get tours of.
Yep.
You can like go on like an ATV. I think they actually have Jeep rides too, though.
They might.
You can like rent a Jeep and like go through Jurassic Park, which I think it would be kind of cool if they like one day like
Build
just
dinosaurs?
just set like an actual like entrance Jurassic. Maybe they do, but Jurassic
might.
Park and like
I don't
have like
remember.
animatronics there for that. I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah, so they get to the island, they land. They start going up in the nice Jeep Wranglers. There's a huge fence, like I said before, with 10,000 volts flowing through it, which I feel needs to be more. Like,
Well, we never really
I think it's like, because like the kid gets shocked by 10,000 volts, and like he's
burns
technically
his hands.
dead. Well, he's dead
Yeah.
for a second until they bring him back to life.
Burns his
But
hands.
like he's like 8 or like 9 years
He's young,
old.
yeah.
So it's like, if he's like shocked, bring back to life, and just like literally running away from dinosaurs, running away from velociraptors and outsmarting them like 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
Well,
The fence should be a little stronger to deter a T-Rex, but
well, the thing is that
I
we
could be
actually
wrong.
never see the fence get used on the dinosaurs ever.
no, the safety fence for the dinosaurs is only used on children. It's
Yeah.
to keep the children out.
Yeah.
10,000 volts. But they're traveling to the visitor center, and they stop the vehicles because there's some brontosauruses coming. And so they get out of the car. This is the first time we see like the actual dinosaur.
And they get
an
yelled
actual
at
dinosaur.
that the doors don't unlock. And what they do, they jump out the back.
Well, those weren't the actual.
Tour vehicles.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
those,
know.
Yeah,
But the tour guide at the time tells them not to get out of the vehicle, and what they do is they run
Yeah.
off. They're like, "Fuck you."
and then so they're
Movie.
Yeah, dinosaur. See you.
Alan Grant and Dr. Sattler go out. They're looking at the dinosaurs, amazed, out of breath, and then Hammond's just like throws it like nice and slow, that nice curveball. Oh, you should see the T-Rex. It's like,
And everyone's
What
like,
the
"You have a
fuck?
T-Rex?"
You have a T-Rex? You have a T-Rex? Like
You have a
eight-
T-Rex?
8 times. Yeah, I have a T-Rex. What do you mean? Like,
And everyone's
he's
still
like,
losing
not-
their
You
shit.
don't?
He's
Yeah.
like, "I have a T-Rex."
yeah, like basically he's like, what do you mean? Like, why wouldn't I make a T-Rex?
You mean you don't?
You don't have like a T-Rex?
But
I like
yeah.
how he mentioned T-Rex, but knew this guy was like obsessed with velociraptors,
Raptors.
and it isn't mentioned till like a little later on.
Like
Like,
they also have. The
I would have
Raptors.
mentioned the velociraptors before the T-Rex. I would have been like, you should see my velociraptors.
I got raptors. You want raptors? I got raptors.
But like, that's the interesting thing, is their enclosure is not like a visible one, really. Like, you can walk up. I think the idea is that like when visitors come, they can walk up top and like look down.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Fallen Kingdom and whatnot. Yes, it just kind of like seemed dark and like not much. Like the trees were sticking up mostly for that, so it's
Yeah.
like I don't think you could really like see them up there.
Well, I think it's probably because it's still in beta testing, as what Hammond says. So like everything's still going on. They're still trying to figure out, and they know the dinosaur. I think Hammond puts a throwaway line in there where he says like, we've noticed that they don't react well, like with open areas. So we put
Yeah.
this stuff in so they feel more comfortable.
Something like that. But anyways, like he threw in the T-Rex or whatever. Says, oh, it clocked at like 32 miles an hour, which I thought was kind of funny because like he was catching up to the Jeep for a while till they got into like 5th gear. But like I was a little surprised that I was like couldn't go faster than 30 miles an hour. But
Well, they're for tours, so
it's a
who
V2.
knows?
OSHA, man.
It's
V2.
OSHA.
It had no
It
engine.
had a
foot
Honda
pedal.
Civic engine in it.
Yeah.
Slow it down.
Oh my god.
If you own a Honda, you're not a human.
But yeah, he's talking about his amusement park, how it's going to be like a ride. They finally get to the visitor center, how it's going to be a ride. There's like gift shop, hotel type thing. And they go through like the inside tour, which has like this nice, cool, like little like diagram of how they explain
Yeah.
how they got the DNA, how they make the dinosaurs through cloning, basically, where like Hammond has to interact with the screen, which I think is funny because it's like he has to interact for this model thing, which it looks like they made that scene or that like animatronic visual for all the guests. So it's like he's just gonna stand there all day long and be like, "Oh, I pricked your finger. I got your DNA. Oh, I pricked your..." Like he's like already 80-something years old. Like,
Well, keep in mind, I think it's just because
But-
they knew the clients that were coming in, so they may have done something
Maybe.
specific.
But they pan over to the next thing, which is like the lawyer thinks it's like animatronic people or whatever doing like lab work, but no, they're like literally showing the lab the dinosaurs being hatched.
Yeah, even gets up and gets closer.
But like literally,
that's
they get out of their because it's like a roller coaster bar that comes down. They get out of that so fast where it's like he should have had his sheet out, been like, okay, can get out of their seat very easily.
Hey, you're not supposed to do that.
But they check it out. It's This is where they find out that there's velociraptors. Is because the egg that's hatching is a velociraptor. Alan Grant is just like, he sees the little baby velociraptor. He's like, what is this? It's like, dude, you know, you're the expert.
No, it's like
you should know, you're the expert.
Yeah, and it's the Dr. Wu is just like, yeah, this is like the third set. Like, you have raptors. Like, yeah, we have several raptors.
And then this is where they kind of explain that they only have, they genetically engineered them to only be females. Where Jeff Goldblum goes on his speech about how, like, one, that's wrong, and then two, life's gonna find a way, and which it does. I don't think that they talk about what actually hatched in those eggs, like what was a male.
No, it was all females. Like, the only way they know they had more raptors.
No, I mean later on in the movie,
they found more eggs in the wild, and they're like, how? They're all supposed to be female.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, I don't think they identified which dinosaur gave birth to those eggs.
No, they did, but they did find out who the father was because it was the alpha of the raptor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because the alpha turned into a male to reproduce.
Maybe that I just might have missed that part, but yeah. So he mentions then that they have raptors, which they go see the raptor enclosure, which we get to see Crocodile Dundee pop back up again, where Hammond's kind of like, oh yeah, everything's safe. Like, he just wants this to get past, and like,
doesn't the insurance guy ask him if there have been any incidents, and he lies and says there hadn't been?
He might have, like, they might have like hinted at that or something, but
I like how they do say, let's go look at the raptor enclosure, and then all they do is they just look at big ass walls.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like confused. Like, I think you're supposed to go up top and look down, but there's still trees there.
No, they go up top and then they drop in a cow.
Yeah,
they see the movement.
No, it's not a cow. Not for the raptor.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They're dropping a whole cow.
Is it a cow? I thought it was a sheep.
Nope,
not the sheep.
Cow.
The goat. The goat is the T-Rex.
Yeah, the goat's the T-Rex.
They drop in the cow, and they're like, they don't pan down to watch what like they view.
Oh yeah, they just see the trees in one section rustling. They hear the raptors, and all of a sudden they just hear the cow like scream bloody murder.
And then like they pan away and they go to the doctors, and it's kind of given the fact that like the doctors are watching the raptors literally ripping the cow apart.
Yeah, but like basically Hammond's like sugarcoating it, like saying it's all safe, like whatnot, and Crocodile Dundee's like, yeah, no, they're problem solving, like
they're beta testing. They're
this is why we're like keeping them on like a separate like electrical outlet, so if anything happens with the other ones, these ones are like backed up because they're considered the most deadly out of everything. And so basically they go to eat lunch, and the lawyer's basically talking about how they can get rich and how they're just going to cater to, he's like, oh, we could sell the tickets for like $10,000 each or whatever. And then Hammond's like, whoa, we're going to make this for like everybody. So and then he's just like, okay, maybe we'll have like $1 off coupon day or something.
Like you can bring in a soda can.
Yeah, like you can get a coupon to maybe come to this. And it's like,
yeah, Hammond doesn't want money.
Yeah. No, he wanted to create
the public dinosaurs.
And for me, he kind of went back and forth on whether I liked him or not, because he was just trying to push it through. He wasn't really concerned about like the safety that much. But his overall intention was he wanted to like show this to like the world, like everybody. He wanted to include everybody. And it's like the company, like this company was just like trying to like cater to like only rich people.
Yeah, because there's nothing of its kind like this. So they can name any price.
Yeah, which, I mean, probably would have bode well for in the future if only the rich people like catered there, because there'd be less people in Jurassic World, and they might have gotten out of the island without having like as many casualties instead of making an amusement park.
Yeah, but then all the lawsuits.
Yeah. Then he's talking about how they're going to go on the live tour, where there's electric powered vehicle. Well, they're on a rail.
They don't know that until they get in, and he sits in the driver's seat, and it's like,
and Wally's driving
where's
them.
the wheel?
And here his grandkids show up, which, like I said before,
why would you bring your kid?
And the
test
girl's
run,
obsessed with Alan.
Yeah, test run, and he brings his grandkids, where there's just like one, like literally 20 minutes later, that's when they notice this huge storm that's gonna come in, and it's like, you couldn't have predicted that. Like even in the 90s, they still had weather where you could see like weekly updates. So like you couldn't predict that day.
Predicted that there was gonna be a huge storm rolling in.
Yeah. And I like how he gets everybody else on the boat to get off the island because of the big storm, but keeps him, his family, Crocodile Dundee, and like a couple technicians.
But
like,
what I want to know is, why was one person, Newman, able to hack everything?
Because that's what he...
When there's a room full of them.
Well, when everyone's evacuating, it's just
Sam Jackson.
Sam Jackson, Newman, and then... Yeah, literally only techs.
And so, like, that was Newman's whole thing, is he wanted to get paid more because he's this brilliant, like, hacker or whatnot. And I think Sam Jackson's role was, like, making sure, like, the enclosures were okay, making sure, like, watching the vehicles and stuff like that. And then Newman's role was to just focus on making sure, like,
everything was running.
Everything was running properly. If there's any like glitches in the data,
and they decided to debug it during the trip.
Yeah, that I thought was really like just stupid on Hammond's part. He's just like, oh yeah, you get to that right now, and he's like, okay, I got to it. Some things might be shutting off when it does its debug. Like he kind of even says that things are going to shut off, and it's like, oh, okay, like, they're out on the trip. They're right by the T-Rex enclosure. I won't think anything of it. So they go out. They stop by the Dilophosaurus enclosure first, which they say their head's kind of like... They have, like, a big fan that exposes, and they spit poison. They don't see anything, which they're a little disappointed about. They get to the next thing, T-Rex. They're not seeing it. They're going to... try and usher the T-Rex out with a goat.
Pushing a goat out of the ground.
They give three or four raptors a cow, and they give the T-Rex a goat. Like, it's one thing if it's like they're having trips every day to only feed it a goat, because then he's just eating a small meal all day long.
I think they just didn't want to give him too much food.
But like he probably like they're only having one tour that day, so like give him a meal.
They might be able to give him more food.
But
then nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Basically, Alan Grant's like, oh, he wants to hunt. He doesn't want to just eat his food there. He fucking eats the goat later. Like
T-Rex are scavengers. They don't hunt.
Yeah. It's like he wants to hunt. Anyways, they're still going along the path. They easily get out of the car while Jeff Goldblum's talking about chaos theory and how basically little things can affect can change the outcomes of something, even though that action is like you're doing it the same. And like literally then Alan Grant jumps out of the car. He's like, just like that, nobody predicted that he was gonna jump out of the car.
And then his wife leaves, and he's just
and now she's gone.
And then like literally he's just sitting in there with like a water, and he's just like just rocking back,
and then he gets out.
And then he gets out. Basically, they see somehow he sees like a triceratops like laying down like off in the distance. The kids get out.
Well, I think he saw
maybe the vehicles.
Out in the
for
field.
like the
dinosaur techs.
Yeah, the dinosaur techs.
Whatever.
Medics.
The medics, I guess.
Doctors.
So they go.
We couldn't think of doctors.
Rifle through some shit.
Yeah, so they
eating well.
They get there. They get there and like it's sick. They think it's like berries or whatever.
It is the berries because she digs through the shit and pulls out the berries and like these are toxic. And he also pulls them out or gets them off the tongue.
I don't think she found anything.
They found the berries in the shit.
Yeah, she goes through the droppings and your mouth goes just like droppings. And then Alan Goodman goes through and just really rips it off of the tongue.
And then he finds the berries.
He finds the berry.
The mouth, but She found berries in the shit.
Did she? Because
Yeah.
she was gonna go back with them or whatever to figure out.
Maybe she didn't, but he found the berries in the mouth, and they're like, well, these are poisonous.
Yeah.
You need
But
to
anyway,
move on.
she kind of goes back with the doctor or whatever to look more into this or whatever and kind of help out the dinosaurs. So already she's like working for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why not?
The kids,
Tell me you wouldn't work.
the lawyer go back into one car. Everybody else goes back in. This is where they find out that the storm's coming. They're sending everybody back.
So they decided to send them back on the track they just came on.
Yep. And they pass by this is when Newman's debugging, hacking virus
And
kicks
shuts
in.
down all of the tracks.
Yep, while he's
All the
slowly
cars.
getting away with the embryos.
Yeah.
But he shuts down the electricity so basically he can push open the doors and escape
Yeah.
to head to the boat.
Well, what he ends up doing is he only opens the gates that he needed, but then something happened, and he gets attacked then and never gets to turn the power back on for the gate.
Yeah.
Because you see him, he goes through one gate, opens it, closes it, and then keeps going. And then the last time you see him get out is when he pulls the power off of the last gate,
Yeah.
and he pushes it through and hears the dinosaur. Then he gets like into the wreck.
He gets into the wreck and tries to pull his car down using the tow on the front, and sees the freaking Dilophosaurus,
Yeah.
and basically tries to play catch with a stick with it. And he's like, "Catch, you looking for food? I don't got any food, dude. It's a fucking meat. Like, look at it. Its teeth are like just straight up,
Yeah.
like
Gnarly.
yeah." And like I'm like,
So then he dies.
he works at the place where they have Brontosaurus, Triceratops, T-Rex, Velociraptors, and They have 5 things basically,
and 3 of them want to eat you.
and he doesn't know that these things are meat eaters. So basically, he gets spit on. It happens a little later, but his storyline ends quickly. He gets spit on, can't see, gets in his car, and somehow there's
all you see is the Barbasol that is laying on the ground.
yeah, but the Dilophosaurus was like at least as tall as him, and like probably elongated as long as the Velociraptor or something. But it was somehow compact on the passenger seat because that's how it pops up. He gets in the car and
he's in
pops
the
up
car.
and kills him.
Bro, come on.
But-
They did say they had multiple of every dinosaur. There's probably multiple Dilophosaurus.
It's probably young too.
Yeah.
It might not
Maybe.
have been a full grown one.
But
But then we flash back to the convoy that is now stuck, and they're like, "Wait, where are we?" And they look over and like, "There's a goat."
the goat's gone.
No, first it was like, "There's the goat." It's like, "Oh, all right, we're in the T-Rex."
Yeah,
And then they're just like, "Whatever." And then they
Power
look
goes
back
out.
and like, "Goat's gone."
and then
Guys, the goat's
you hear
gone.
you hear the thuds. The
Well,
classic.
first you see the glass.
Yeah.
You see the cup of water, and you see the ripples.
yeah.
Then you start to hear the thuds.
Yeah, and you see the ripples, the classic ripple scene in the little water glass. The goat's leg gets like dropped onto the roof.
vehicle.
Almost
breaks through the sunroof.
Yeah. Mr. Laura guy freaks out, runs to the like he should have just kept running, to be honest. Like he just runs to the bathroom.
Before that happens is when the T-Rex gets out. Before he starts the run.
Oh yeah, it starts
It
to come
gets out,
it starts
and
coming
it's heading
through
towards them.
and he gets
And
out,
as he's looking at it through the windshield, he gets out and runs to the bathroom.
leaves the kids in the car.
Leaves the
alone.
kids. And Alan's like, he left the kids.
And they were like,
Loses
"He left
his
us.
shit.
He left
and then
us."
he gets out and runs to the kids. As the dinosaur's running after the lawyer.
Well, so they, it starts breaking through. The lawyer runs to the bathroom, which he should have just ran to the facility.
In sight of the dinosaur.
Yeah, the dinosaur's coming through. He's like, we gotta be still. Don't move. And then the kid starts freaking like waving this
The
flashlight
flashlight to
around,
get their attention.
shines it in his eyes, which
The dinosaur's out.
fucking pisses it off. Like that would piss me off. It's like, here you go, Mr. Dinosaur.
Yeah.
And then it starts fucking the shit out of like just destroying their car.
The cars.
Flips
Turns
it
it
over.
upside down. Squishes
Yeah.
it into the mud.
It was loving that tire though. Like it thought it was
Yeah.
like a chew toy. It was like
It was ripping the tire off, spun the entire Jeep around like a couple times as the kids are like
Yeah.
in the mud, like almost drowning.
yeah. Alan gets a flare, distracting it. Throws the flare back into the opening that the T-Rex makes. As it starts heading over there, freaking Jeff Goldblum's like, "No, I'm saving the day." He fucking rips the flare.
Hey,
Save the kids. I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna outrun something that goes 30 miles an hour. And so he starts running. He starts running towards the bathroom. He breaks through the door, and as he breaks through, a bunch of palm trees or whatever collapse on him. And then just the four walls of the bathroom fall apart, leaving the lawyer just sitting there on the toilet.
And the dinosaur just staring at him.
I like how his pants are down. Like, you really thought it was a good idea to actually use the bathroom.
Hey, fight or flight.
Yeah.
He literally was shitting himself because of the dinosaur.
True.
But basically, the guy, like I said before, the guy investigating the safety of the park dies from the dinosaur while he's on the toilet.
First.
Let's write down that these bathrooms are not up to code.
Yeah. So he eats them, and then as Alan Grant's getting the kids out, the girl screams. T-Rex starts coming over. They stand still and evade him, but he's pushing the car.
They're behind
over
the car,
balcony.
and he's pushing it towards the barrier
ledge.
balcony where he came out of.
Which
the opening
was very surprising to me because that drop was so drastic.
But yet
how
the dinosaur got up
it. How the fuck did the T-Rex get up there? But apparently, just at that level, a couple seconds ago, there's a goat that was just on a flat plane. But we're not gonna break down that conspiracy right there.
So dinosaur pushes car over it. Well, they get back in.
Tim.
They get back into it.
No, Alan and the girl slide down using the toe on the front of the
I thought it got stuck in the tree and then they got out.
No. Oh, maybe it did. It did. No, that's when he's pulling Tim out.
Oh, okay.
He climbs back in while it's stuck in the tree.
Yeah.
Because Tim's still stuck in there.
He climbs.
Because his foot's Tim's foot, the grandkid, is pinned behind the seat, and so he gets him out. They're climbing down the tree. Car almost crushes them, but they get away. And they spend the night in a tree where they see some brontosaurus, and then that's when he gets sneezed on. All while this is happening, Crocodile Dundee and Dr. Sattler go to investigate, where they find out that Jeff Goldblum is still alive. He was badly injured, but used a tourniquet on his leg.
And they put him into the Jeep.
And then they go to investigate the car, which somehow they climb down that drop or whatever that they took, the car took or whatever. They're investigating the car at the bottom, and get back up while Jeff Goldblum hears the freaking T-Rex coming.
And he's yelling for them to come back.
He's like,
then
I can limp.
They're like, what's going on? And they're like, we need to go.
You need to drive faster.
They drive. He almost gets his leg bit off.
Yeah.
They get away.
They're back at the compound. Sam Jackson.
And that's when they investigate, why are all the gates down?
They're trying to figure out how they can break the code, which then they come to the conclusion that they need to reboot the system.
Exactly. The hard reset of all the gates.
It might not reboot. So they do it. They can tell that it rebooted correctly, but the power is still off.
They have to go turn them off, every single one of them, and then back on.
So they send out Sam Jackson by himself, where there's still dinosaurs running around, and he goes out first because he dies. He gets killed by the raptors. Sam Jackson doesn't come back in a while, so they go to investigate. So Crocodile Dundee grabs a shotgun.
No, because Sam Jackson's the one who cracks the code in the end.
It's the girl.
Girl is the one who hacks the computer.
I thought he was still there.
No, he dies because his arm. She thinks he's behind him.
That's right.
So Sam Jackson goes to investigate. He doesn't come back. Dr. Sattler, Crocodile Dundee, he grabs a shotgun. They go to head over there. Basically, they notice that the top of the raptor cage. This is when they finally go, "What about the raptors?"
Yeah. And then they're looking at the big ass opening.
Big ass opening. Raptors are out. They're like, "Oh, maybe that's why he hasn't come back."
So they get to the bunker where the power switches is.
They see the bunker, but Crocodile Dundee out of some like predator vision sees like the freaking raptor like 50 yards away.
Well,
he's
first
like, we're
she
being
goes
hunted.
into the bunker, and then he's like at the front door, and they're like, we're being like watched or whatever. So he decides, I'm gonna go get him.
Yeah. Instead of going into the bunker where there's one entrance, one exit.
Yeah.
But
He doesn't know that one raptor's already inside.
Yeah. He doesn't know that, but it doesn't matter because there's still 2 other raptors out there.
The one baits him out. He's about to take a shot.
And then it, surprise, pops through the tree.
Pokes through the trees and just looks at him and he goes, cheeky bastard.
Yeah.
Clever
and then,
girl.
Oh, clever girl, whatever.
Clever girl.
Whatever.
Clever
You know,
girl.
he fucking dies.
Yeah.
After he never gets to use that shotgun to begin with.
I know. And
So she's there.
She's there.
Turns off all the power, turns it back on.
As she's turning
all
it
the
on,
switches off.
yeah, she has to turn each one on manually,
Yeah.
which there's a air siren as Dr. Grant, the 2 children are climbing
The electric fence to get onto the other side. And she turns on the main breaker, which alerts everything that the gates are going on. And they're like losing their
They're
shit.
like, Tim, jump! He's
Alan
like,
jumps down, girl jumps, and then Tim's like, nope, not doing it.
He's like, jump, Tim! You're gonna get electrocuted. Jump! He's like, no!
It's like, wait, what?
No mas! Yeah, Tim
No
gets
Tim,
electrocuted with 10,000 volts. Alan Grant brings him back to life.
Yeah, CPR.
Yeah,
plot.
CPR.
Kid lit.
They make it back to the visitor center, which
Finally.
they leave him there. Then
He leaves the kids there.
yeah, the kids start chowing down on this like huge
They found the
feast,
buffet that they had set out for
Yeah.
food. Eating everything, they start to eat the Jello.
and then they notice
The shadows.
freaking Yeah, there's a
behind the
raptor
paneling
coming
of the
up.
walls.
Yeah, there's a raptor coming up behind like
A display,
a
like picture,
painting or
yeah.
something of a raptor.
It's like
on it.
wallpaper without a wall behind it.
Yeah, which I thought was super funny. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's like, well, paper thin wall. Well, I mean, they're still doing construction. That's
Yeah.
why everything's still like
I
the
don't-
way it is.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like a banner or something or an actual wall.
It
but
might have been a banner
either
that
way,
they hang up, but
either
yeah,
way,
they
it
see
was,
it, so they hide under the table.
Yeah, they hide under the table. They make a break for the kitchen. They're inside.
Raptors follow them to
The
the kitchen.
raptors.
Door closes, thank God, and they're like, "Huh, good, they can't use doors."
Yeah,
Next thing you know, door handles moving.
somehow a thing that has never seen a door in a life
can
in his
automatically
life
master
can like
it. Yeah.
push it down and like open
Gets
it
it
up.
clothesline, opens it. They burn. It's funny because they open it so slow, but then the second it unhinges, it's like free for all. They both like dash through it
Yeah.
and jump onto the counters.
Yeah.
Now they're hiding behind all this stainless steel equipment.
Yeah.
Raptor sees them, runs at them
Well, it
Into
runs
a
at
reflection.
into a reflection.
yeah. They
So
like
smart enough to open the door, but not realize what a reflection is.
they're
Wow.
like maneuvering around like the kitchen or whatever, and like they accidentally start bumping into things.
All the
and
equipment.
the raptor sees the girl like trying to close like whatever drawer that was.
I mean,
it
it's
looked like a
bread-
little.
it almost like a bread drawer.
It almost looked like a dumbwaiter that
Yeah.
was just like in the kitchen that didn't go anywhere.
Head first into like a dishwasher.
Yeah.
Kids run away. Get in front of.
Tim smartly traps one in
In
the
the freezer,
freezer.
yeah.
Yeah.
He gets
He
like
outruns-
in the freezer.
He outruns a raptor
And it
while
comes charging in,
hobbling.
slides on the ground, and somehow he gets out while it can't even like walk.
Yeah.
Closes the
Well,
door.
I mean, it was running on claws, which I mean,
Yeah.
if you have a dog and it runs around the house,
yeah,
it's
it
not
slides.
good. But like, he's limping,
Yeah.
and
Well-
it still can't catch
Well,
him.
Also keep in mind the power's out, so everything.
He's limping, and his hands are burnt to a crisp.
Also,
How did he like?
Well,
he,
keep
he,
on-
he just has like
He's
a cloth.
nubbing everything.
He has a cloth wrapped around one, but is still like
Yeah.
grabbing a fork
Well,
normally.
duh.
Like he got shocked by 10,000 volts. Like
well, keep in mind, like
he acts like
getting him
nothing
into the
happened.
freezer makes sense though because the power's out, everything there is melting, so slipping ice water, the
Yeah.
freezer's filled.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the kid doesn't really know that though.
Yeah, but
So anyway,
But yeah, so
they start to run off.
Dr. Sattler reset the power or whatever, but there's a raptor in there somehow hiding behind wires. Like, I don't know how it got back there, but it was hiding behind wires, pops out, jump scare.
She limps away too. 'Cause
She's like,
her leg hurts.
Yeah, like she backs up and like a hand like comes
Yeah.
on her and she's just like, oh,
Samuel L. Jackson.
yeah.
spins around
And like
just the
Samuel
arm.
Jackson's like already dead, but he you know his last line was like, I've had it with these motherfucking dinosaurs on his motherfucking island.
Probably.
And it's just his arm. So like she runs out of there scared, sees Dr. Grant.
Doesn't she pick up a shotgun?
She's like, run, and then like goes and hugs him.
I think she trips onto him.
Yeah.
And then they get away.
And they get away. They find out that the kids are like, that there's like raptors after the kids. They pick up a shotgun at that point.
Yeah. And they get to the control room.
The control room, which right before that they're like in a different room where there's glass or whatever, and they use the shotgun, but like into the glass because I guess the raptor's trying to break through the glass.
Yeah.
But the holes in the glass are like she was shooting like a 9mm pistol.
It was small.
And like it was just like I'm pretty sure a shotgun could take out the raptor.
So they finally get to the control room, but the door still won't like latch and lock because they try to close it and it opens back up. The locking mechanism doesn't like trigger. So that's when she cracks the code.
Yeah,
And
the girl
is able to lock all the doors.
She goes on computers like, this is DOS. I know this.
Yeah, as they're like pushing up against the door or
As
whatever.
the raptor's trying to get in.
And like
And
she
claws are
somehow
coming in and Alan just goes
ow, my fingers. Yeah, like I don't know.
pisses it
but
off.
They get everything back online. They basically call like the army into like
and then they pin the door with the shotgun.
yeah.
So they
And-
finally think they're good. They're like, oh hey, we gotta get through that vent.
Yeah.
As they're going through,
The raptor
the raptor's
breaks
like,
through
fuck the door, runs through the glass, like next to the door.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so then they fall and they're on like the little like they tried to do a Flintstones move, slide down the T-Rex the like fossil of
The fossil,
yeah.
the bones.
Yeah, it breaks apart. They're like swinging there. The raptor's after
Yeah,
them.
but yet the head falls off, the tail falls off, but like the ribs and everything of what was hanging there, they're hanging on to for dear life.
Yeah, and so they eventually, one by one, like they start falling off. They get down. They get cornered by like two, three raptors, something
I think
like
all
that.
three, because they have the two there, and then the third one like comes shuffling in from like the side.
Yeah, because the other one's still trapped in the freezer.
And they're all,
which would be the most ironic like opening ever is if like nobody knew it was in the freezer.
Jurassical.
No, yeah, because the power went on, the freezer kicks back in. That raptor would have froze to death.
The raptor probably let him out. You know, open doors.
Yeah, but they put a pin in it, so it's got like
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
Anyway,
But
so they're cornered by the raptors now.
then
they get
Mr.
into
T-Rex somehow like he's
As
just
the
like
raptor-
waiting in
Kool-Aid
the
Man.
corner.
As the raptor goes into for like the kill,
The kill.
the T-Rex shows up and just bites it,
The
throws it against the wall.
T-Rex just Kool-Aid Man's it. Just through the whole entire wall and just like,
Yeah.
I'm
So
done.
the last two
He was like looking in the window, just like, oh okay, it's my time.
and action
That
runs
guy-
in,
like he
starts
busted
fighting
through
all three of these goddamn
Raptors.
at one time. One's on his back. They're calling each other to shit.
Yeah.
He grabs one
And
and just
the
whips
people
it.
run away. And as they're running away, the Jurassic Park banner just slowly falls
As
down.
he kills them, and he just like
Yeah.
lets out his epic T-Rex roar,
Yeah. The
which
roar.
happens like every movie now.
Yeah.
Like it's like something that they have to put in, but I wish they didn't anymore because it's like
It made sense for the first movie. It was a good way
did,
to end
and
it.
it made sense for like when they did Jurassic World because it was like it wasn't a reboot, but it was like a reboot for the franchise because they hadn't done.
It was
one.
a timeline skip to be like, okay, the events of Jurassic Park 1 happened, but the rest of the movies after that did not happen.
Yeah, and so it was just something that like was kind of necessary for that one, but now like it's just constant, and it's like
It was iconic.
yeah. But anyways, the military comes, they get on the helicopters, and they're being choppered out of there.
And everyone's just so happy as shit.
Yeah,
So many people died. How are you happy?
not really. Compared to how many people were there, most of them got on the boat.
Compared to
Basically,
Jurassic World, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Basically,
Jurassic World was worse.
yeah. I'm kind of comparing it to Jurassic World, where like all the like
People literally get
Yeah.
kicked off.
I hope that
'Cause
martini
it's-
guy in Jurassic World survived, holding the 2 drinks.
Maybe.
the lawyer dies.
Samuel L. Jackson dies.
Samuel L. Jackson
Newman
dies.
dies.
Dundee dies.
Dundee, yeah.
Newman dies. So
That
it's
guy in the beginning that gets ripped apart
Yeah.
by the.
So it's
the
like
raptor.
five people. I mean, granted, there weren't that many people there, so like their like percentage of living people versus dead people is pretty bad.
More than 50%.
Yeah. But anyways, at the end, before like the helicopter ride, on their getaway, Dr. Grant's just like, I don't endorse your island. He's like,
Fair enough.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to do it either. I don't endorse it either. So
Like, me either.
it's like, it almost killed my grandkids, but I mean, like, we'll give it like a year or two, and then we'll reopen it for like the second movie, third movie, what?
Well, the thing is,
Well, the second movie was different because
it's a different island. Yeah.
I don't think it was. They didn't try and reopen the park. It was
And
there were still dinosaurs on that island, and the other company wanted to extract them and
The T-Rex.
sell them or whatever, and then
Yeah.
they end up in New York or something.
No,
But-
San Diego.
Yeah, it was like some city that like the dinosaurs were running around in. It was. I think the third one
The
was when they
rescue
tried.
operation?
When they tried to reopen the park because there's a different island,
No,
different island.
It was the
different
same island.
It was a different one because they there's no
Oh, yeah,
dinosaurs.
you're right. It was the second one.
Because then that's the one where
And-
the T-Rex looking thing with horns or whatever is on.
Well, I
the
thought
little
And the
ones.
third one's the rescue op when the kid is parasailing
Yes.
and the boat gets attacked
Because it's a
by
different island, and that's why they were
the
like
Spinosaurus.
they didn't know anything
Yeah,
about it.
and I
or
know
the
something.
third one's a Spinosaurus.
The second one
Yeah.
starts off because
Oh yeah, third one's
No, the second one begins where it's a famous like rich couple going to that they decided to port at the second island. Their kid gets killed, and that's when Engine was like, "Oh, there's a second island with dinosaurs on it. We're gonna take them."
I think
Maybe.
you're right.
Maybe.
Then the third one's the Allen rescue op
Yeah.
for the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And the
which
kid,
was nice that
the
they
parents
brought
were
him
like,
back.
no,
but-
it's just an island somewhere. We need you to find them.
yeah. It's
Like,
just,
sorry, that's an island with dinosaurs. Tricked you.
Well, that one like made me laugh a little bit because they actually bring like mercenaries along with them.
Yeah.
Which one of them has like a 50 cal, but they're running away from like the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It's like,
No one knows what if a 50 cal is gonna do to a dinosaur. No one's tested it.
well, they should have
Yeah.
because they lost it and then had no guns. So this movie was good. I like the franchise. The third one was probably one of my favorites though.
I didn't care for the second one.
The second one I liked when I was younger. I liked it more than the first one just because like it was neat that they had like the island time, like where they were on the island, where they had another Crocodile Dundee
Yeah.
looking character, and then they had because they had like all these Mad Max looking vehicles that were like
See, I appreciated the second one just because I liked the premise of it a lot better. Where like, oh shit, we didn't know they had a second island filled with dinosaurs.
yeah, and
Yeah, that's true.
and then when they took it to the city, that was
That-
kind of cool for a little bit. But
Everyone
like,
wanted to see a T-Rex destroy that Burger King.
I mean, like, they're like, oh, we got to compete with King Kong here. Like, oh, that was the other thing. When they're entering the island, when they're entering the exhibit or whatever, the
Yeah.
ride, there's the big gate or
Oh,
whatever,
yeah,
the
big gate
Jurassic
for
Park.
Jurassic Park.
And Jeff Goldblum's like, what you got in here? Freaking King Kong? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a fucking T-Rex. We told, like,
Yeah.
Would you expect?
Jurassic Park.
We said that there was a T-Rex before we started, like, going towards the park. Of course we're going to have a big gate. That didn't work or do anything for the film.
I mean, the game was
But-
just there for looks.
Yeah.
yeah.
It didn't do anything at all.
It was just for what the guests to
and
see.
Jurassic World continued it with their gate, which
Yeah.
was over the monorail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in all, great movie for 1993.
It was never like it. I liked it, and I liked rewatching it now.
Steven Spielberg
but-
is and will always be a genius for his movies.
Yeah, when I was younger, and like still now, it wasn't like like when I had talked about doing this movie, I was not like overly excited about it. I just
It's
for
not
some
my
reason,
movies
it's-
that I can watch like a million times.
It's not one of my. It's very slow at points. And I've seen like they like play it on AMC like all the time. So like I've seen like
Bits and
3
pieces.
like 10-minute clips of like the T-Rex attack like a million times. So I was like, that's like one of the coolest scenes in the movie besides the raptor attacks at the end. And like I saw it a million times where I was just like, it took me like a little bit to like want to watch like be like,
Yeah.
okay, I need to sit down and like do
Pay
this.
attention.
Yeah. And so it was good. I actually enjoyed like sitting down and watching the whole thing instead of just watching like the clips or whatever. But I would like to watch the second and third.
Yeah,
one
I was gonna say
again,
watching the
because-
first one made me really want to watch like the second one and the third one. Was there Jurassic Park 4 before Forgotten World?
No,
Well,
it ended at 3. Well,
it was 3 and then
Jurassic World,
and
and
then
then
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Okay.
Fallen King.
For some reason,
Yeah.
I thought there was 4 before Jurassic.
which like
World.
falling like the new ones are good, but like they're like making it more like
actiony.
actiony, which is like it has its perks, but then at the same time it's like
Because the original ones.
The one thing
focused
I
on
had a
the
problem with
dinosaurs.
was like Fallen Kingdom, the dinosaur falls like the way they kill the like T-Rex.
The Allosaurus, the mixture of the T-Rex and the raptor.
Yeah, is that the name? I didn't. I thought it was like
Or Dysonsaurus.
it was like some sort of weird name that they mixed together, but it was the Endoraptor.
Yeah,
That's what they called it. The Endoraptor. It's bulletproof, but somehow dies by just falling on top of a Triceratops horn. Like
I thought it died because it was going after them in the helicopter, and the fucking giant like megalodon just eats the whole thing.
nope.
No, that's in Jurassic World.
No, that's
Megalodon. Or not Megalodon.
oh no, yeah, that's Jurassic World.
That's
The Megalodon takes out a helicopter in Fallen Kingdom, but the Endoraptor in Fallen Kingdom dies because they
falls
break
through
the glass,
the glass
it falls
and
and
falls on
lands
top of the bones
on.
of the
Triceratops.
Yeah.
and gets
But, like,
impaled by the horns.
They're shooting it with like AR rounds, which are rifle rounds, so it's pointed at a velocity a lot faster than falling
Basically,
on top
the
of.
dinosaur should have died from the shots.
Yeah.
Well, I can kind of see the argument against that just because the pressure that's going down on the Endoraptor on top of the skeleton, it's weight and
constant,
gravity.
Yeah, it's constant pressure, which I understand, but it was just still like it should have it shouldn't have been like basically
So
like
indestructible.
Terminator bulletproof where
Yeah.
it's just bouncing off of it. Or like just like it should have like made like little cuts or something.
I mean, they
just
they
not
said it
been
really
as
fixed
power.
it.
Well, it probably was like
Yeah.
it wasn't bulletproof. Like its hide was heavy enough that it would take like concentrated, consistent fire to get through it.
Which I actually want to review that movie at some point because there's like a part in there that's just so funny because this one guy sees the Endoraptor in a cage and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to like shoot you with some tranq darts and yeah, I'm going to just wheel you out of here." But it's like in a cage, and so instead of like wheeling the cage out, he tranks it and gets in the cage. Like what? Like the thing is like 3 times the size of him, and he thinks he's gonna like drag it out or carry it. Like it's literally on like rail carts and the cage is on a rail cart where it can just push the cage.
Oh yeah, and I like how the Endoraptor is just like, yeah, I'm a fake being asleep to murder you.
I thought that guy was like the dumbest person ever because it's like, dude, what was your plan? Like getting in the cage, like push the cage. It's fine if you wanted to take it, like just push the cage.
Just close the cage first and then wheel it out.
Yeah.
Like a normal person.
Yeah, like that like just made me laugh because it was just beyond like stupid. But yeah, there we go again with another episode done.
God damn, I really want more dinosaurs.
Yeah,
I want more dinosaurs.
maybe what we'll do is like we'll do like a marathon day and we'll talk about like 2 and 3 or
And
2, 3 and Fallen Kingdom or something.
We should do one day is live
Watching.
Well, yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah, where we
I was
watch
thinking
a movie
about
and talk about it as it's playing.
Yeah, that's what.
there was
It'll
one
be a little bit, I guess, not really shorter episode because movies nowadays are still like hour and a half to 2 hours.
yeah.
So it'll still be.
Which
about
I was
the same
actually
length.
surprised that this is one of the few movies that was actually like super long from like that time period. It was 2 hours and 6 minutes,
Yeah, it's one of the
it's
movies
the
that
runtime.
if you were watching,
Yeah.
you would have to sit down and commit to it.
and that's why it took like I said, like the movie was like 2 hours, and it took me like a little bit longer because I had to keep pausing it to like
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
kind of like remember everything that was like going on. So yeah, maybe there was like one day that I wanted to do that, and then one day that I wanted to sit down like after Last Blood comes out, do just like
Watch
Rambo
Rambo
2, 3, like 2013's Rambo, and then like Last Blood.
Yeah.
But just Rambo Day.
Yeah.
Which I still think that's just the concept of it is just funny. It's just let Rambo be done. Like he was done after the last one where like I think this is the only one that he'll end up doing where he doesn't have that weird mullet thing going on.
Maybe.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
That was.
So that was Jurassic Park. Yeah.
You can't have them.
Closing music.
Oh, dun 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 dun.
Oh my god. All right.
Bye,
so
folks.
if you want, bye.
Later,
folks.
man. Oh God.
if you want to know what next week's episode, check out this clip.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
And let us know, did you even see that?